Do you look at what's happening now with, for example, the growth in the use of generative AI models? Do you see that as potentially being a similar step change, or is it maybe not quite going to be on the level of when that those first internet businesses really built that connectivity and that network effect?
Yeah, and this is an interesting question, which I think many of us are asking ourselves. Are we at the precipice as well now with the new technologies which are coming in within the Gen AI space, as we had at the time of the internet bubble, at the time of mobile, right, which was as well a time frame where we saw a lot of models switching, or as well at the times of the cloud computing phases, which were a few years back already, but had some leverage as well, which was much more than anticipated. And I'd be thinking that the abilities or the capabilities which generative AI in particular is currently offering is something we've not seen before, right? Before that, I think what we've seen is enabling of businesses which in the physical world you could always imagine could be there, but now had means as well to be connected with all of the digital means which were available, all of the connectivity, and as well with the change of business models moving into virtual organizations as well, right? In that sense, what you have now is an ability to actually mimic human intelligence with machines, right? And this is very different, right? I think it's really touching now the heart of the worker rather than just necessarily an aspect of the business model, right? And it's going to be changing fundamentally how organizations will be actually operating and strategizing as well moving forward, right? From my perspective, what generative AI and some of the new AI technologies are really offering up is an opportunity to rethink how we're going to go about businesses moving forward, right? And that means, if we think about procurement just now, and this is one of the key areas, we now have an ability within procurement with not just generative AI, but AI in general, to really leverage the data we have and really make out of that sense and insights, right? Something which we in the past may have had through spend analysis tools, but not necessarily being able to tap into so many data sources as we had within the time frame which was available to crunch the information, really make sense out of that, right? So now we can contextualize information rapidly. We can change as well the way we organize ourselves with a bit more agility. And at the same time, I believe that from a business model perspective, we will see as well much more I'd say much more things moving into the direction of human interactions where it matters, and a lot less of activities in the space where transactional activities are there just to be complied with, right? So I think it will liberate quite a lot of possibilities for us to tender and take care of activities where the value add from the procurement perspective is as well, with the business partnering side, with the supply relationship management activities, with incepting and innovating as well with your suppliers or as well with your internal organization peers, rather than just being there as a function, kind of orchestrating just activities, which is something we've seen maybe in the last 20 years really becoming kind of the center point of the activities within the procurement space as well, right? So yeah, I think there is a potential there. How big that potential really is, something I think we'll all be seeing soon, right? But soon, in the next 2 to 5 years for sure. We see some teasers of that with the means of computer vision, data analytics, machine learning, some of these models which are now already making their ways into the best of breed solutions, some of them as well into the autonomous procurement concepts which are coming up, right? So there's a lot of things going on. Now, I'll be curious as well how this all pans out, but if I compare that with the time frame of the internet bubble in that sense, I think it has a big potential. Is it going to be as wide touching, wide impacting is something we'll see. But I'd be thinking that, as I was just alluding to, what we are getting teased with right now is a big opportunity. And I'd be thinking it will be interesting to follow on and see how that takes us now to the next levels of how we be organizing procurement as a seamless function within a bigger organization, right?